Cruella spoiler review. So, if you haven't seen the movie Cruella, it's going to be on Disney Plus tomorrow and in theaters at the time I'm recording this, anyways. And this movie, is bad. You shouldn't watch it. But if you want to watch it and see it for yourself, click off now. And you don't want spoilers, blah blah blah. Click off, blah blah blah. So let's start with this movie. So this movie starts, and Cruella's kind of this troublemaking kid, and she's in some kind of, I think, boarding school or whatever. They didn't really specify, but she's in school, and no one liked her because she was born with hair that was black and white, which is a little ridiculous because no one's born with that kind of hair. But I guess I can buy it for the movie's sake. But I still think it's a little ridiculous. And then everyone's just immediately mean to her for no reason because of the hair, I guess. I guess kids are cruel, whatever. But she starts all these fights, and her mother takes her out of school. So Cruella goes with her mother to meet this friend because they're moving far away. She needs money to move somewhere because she needs something. She needs somewhere to go. She needs money to go. Mother doesn't seem like the mother had a father or anything in this kind of relationship. It's just her and her daughter. But she specifies that it's a secret friend that she hasn't told her daughter about. So Cruella promises to stop doing trouble and all that. But then she ends up coming into the fashion show and causes a bunch of issues, and then it leads to her mother falling off a cliff and dying. Now this was hilarious because the movie wanted to play it so sad, but the goofy, ridiculous effect of her falling and how it looked was ridiculous. And it was just really? Really? This is how we're starting the movie? Alright, but it was bullcrap. And then you get to the next part of this movie. Cruella, ends up sleeping on this little water thing with her dog. Which is weird that she has a dog in this movie. Because do they not know who Cruella de Vil is? She's someone who kills puppies to make coats, right? The fact that she's so attached to her dog, you think that would make her someone who would not want to do that because she has a dog that she's attached to. That doesn't make sense at all. Why does she have a dog? Except, she likes dogs. You can sympathize with her better. But again, this is someone who kills dogs. And I'll get to that later in this review. So she is discovered by Jasper and Horace. Now I like this idea because I didn't realize when you meet them as kids. I didn't get, they're supposed to be Jasper and Horace, and they help her steal and do stuff. And so that makes sense why they're connected, because they're kind of like family, and that's a cool idea. I like that kind of inclusion. I didn't think they're actually going to be included in this movie. It was nice to see them included in an interesting way. I mean, it still wasn't a good movie, but still. And I thought that was nice. And they form this bond. They start stealing stuff, and then it cuts to her 20 years later, and Cruella, is doing all the stealing for them, and then Jasper actually gets her a job with this fashion company because she knows it's her dream, and she gets her there, and she cleans toilets. She's not well respected at all, which is interesting because they hired her because she had a really good resume. But they're kind of treating her like crap. But she gets there, and then this very famous fashion lady shows up one day after she got caught and screwed up the window display. The boss didn't like it, but the big fashion lady is like, "Yeah, I like your window display. I'm gonna hire this lady." So she hires her, and she really, really likes her, and so she calls herself so she's now Estella working for this lady, because she hasn't really embraced Cruella since her mother died, but yeah, so she's doing this, and And then one day she kind of discovers that this lady, who she's working for, was her mother's secret friend, because she sees the same Netflix and necklace that that she lost the day her mother died. And what she says in the movie is, she says, some girl broke into my party and stole it from me, and so and then she's super unsympathetic towards her mother who died, and she not understanding that Stella is obviously the same girl. How would she? But that really ticks her off. So she says, "I'm going to steal the necklace," because they're kind of thieves. So she, her and her thief buddies steal the necklace, and then they start screwing with her, and then and Estella or Cruella realizes she really likes this idea, so she starts interrupting all of her fashion shows, makes her own designs as Cruella, just to screw with her for killing her mother and being so unsympathetic, which, this is the bad, she's a bad character. But the issue with this subplot is they try to make her seem like, no, see? She's standing up to the evil woman who, killed her mother. But we'll get to why this is such a big issue. For this part of the movie, it's like, okay, well, she is kind of like someone you're okay with kind of rooting for. Yeah, she does some messed up things, but you understand why. She's not really hurting anybody, you know what I mean? But then she kidnaps her dogs. And this is where it gets crazier and crazier. So, so this movie goes off the rails at this point, because after she steals her dog, she has a fashion show where she literally actually makes a coat, and she even says it. She made a coat out of my dogs, and it's like, so they don't tell you till later it wasn't actually made out of her dogs, but for about 30 to 20 minutes, you believe that this lady who you're rooting for as your main character killed this lady's dogs and made them into her coat. Now, I don't care how much you're trying to screw with somebody to get back to them for your mother's death, but screw you screw you if you're gonna kill dogs. I'm just saying, this is a ridiculous thing that the movie is like, yes, root for this villain character who did this. So she ends up getting Jasper and Horace in jail, and they get in a fight, and you're supposed to, she's like, you're my family, I'm trying to make up with you. And that scene cracked me up, because again, I was like, you killed dogs. And no one's just bringing that up, and I'm supposed to feel bad for you, make up with your friends, your family, or whatever. It's like, you killed dogs. At that point, I think it was revealed that she didn't do that, but it's still really? And then it was also before this scene happened, the lady found out, hey, you're my worker, that's who you are, I'm going to kill you. And even she says the line, I'm going to kill you. And she does. She kills her in the same way her mother died. But again, she told her she was going to kill her. This is someone who is a villain. She tried to kill someone. And again, you're supposed to be rooting with the main character, and she's supposed to make up with her family. And it's like, no, she's in the wrong. She killed this lady. Now, yeah, she killed her mother. That's wrong. Great. But also, again, it doesn't matter if you killed someone. But just because you killed someone doesn't make me in the right to kill you because you killed someone. I'm just saying. It doesn't. And, you also see this part of the movie where it's revealed that this fashion lady is actually Cruella's mother, and she didn't want her because she's an unsympathetic lady, which was, a cool twist because it tied into the beginning and the fact that her mother was coming to this secret friend who wanted money. Well, it turns out that secret friend was the lady who gave her daughter, and it's, cool, but, still, the movie is garbage. It just, why? And then she takes over the mansion and gets everything, and she gets to be Cruella, but it's and she is very much the lady Cruella de Vil. she's becoming more and more like it. She becomes more and more sadistic and psycho as the movie goes along. Like, this is an origin for Cruella. And if you treat this like Joker, where it's like a tragedy that this person fell like this, then this movie could have worked. It could have been fun, and they could have, and less depressing, but they also could have, like, made it like also kind of sad that this person becomes like this. It's all about how they treat it in this movie, and I think a lot of this has to do with is if you take Cruella out of this, and you make this just like a different movie where someone falls and it's a tragedy, this movie could have really worked, but it didn't, and it was awful, and no one should watch this movie. And this whole movie was crazy. It was nuts. It's almost so crazy that it's almost like I feel like people need to see it to believe it, but it's also like you shouldn't see it because this is a bad movie and you're giving people money to make more bad Disney remakes that should never be made. So yeah, terrible movie. No one should watch it. 1 out of 10. F. Screw you, Disney. No more remakes.